This project is inspired by Lenore Tawney. She was a groundbreaking mid-century artist who developed an abstract sculptural approach to working with fibers. One of her processes was to use an open loom. We all know that looms produce flat squares and rectangles. Weaving without the confinements of a loom allowed Tawney to explore dimensional space with shapes, edges, and negative space that was just as important to the overall piece as the fibers themselves. Inspired by this unconventional approach to weaving, this process that I'm going to demonstrate today is about rethinking and redesigning an already woven piece. We'll work in reverse, deconstructing and changing fibers to create a tapestry with texture and abstract form. Burlap has a wide weave that makes it real easy to approach the fibers and manipulate them. Burlap, as we all know, will unravel with very, very little effort. It's ready to come apart at any time. We'll need to secure some of the fibers so that they remain in place. And we can do this a couple of ways. First, the selected fibers can be painted using a fluid acrylic paint, which I've already done here, and it's dried onto the burlap. This could be any color of fluid acrylic paint. It adds some pops of color value. You could do patterns and lines. This has sealed the weave and will keep the fibers from unraveling past the line. It acts as a barrier, but we could still cut through there if we wished. If you prefer, you could do this with a clear glue or a matte medium. It would provide the same purpose but without using the color. Next, you can alter the area between the shapes. You'll need some small pointed scissors. It also helps to have some jewelry pliers or a set of tweezers to help to pull out some of the fibers. I'm going to walk you through a few ideas just to get you started. Now, you could remove some of the strands entirely and have full negative space. For instance, we could cut this area in the center out completely. We're creating a window frame. Now this could be filled again and layered with something else behind it, but the fibers will not unravel now past the acrylic border. Next, you can remove just the horizontal or just the vertical strands. I have pre-cut one line down on either side, and I've started to remove the strands. It's very easy to do just by pulling out like so, and we'll be left with just the horizontal strands. Sometimes you can pull more than one at a time. Sometimes burlap requires you to just pull one strand at a time. The next thing we can do is we can partially remove some of the fibers. This piece has been cut along the border, and I've started to remove some of the strands, but only doing so up to a point. As you can see, partially removing strands like this will produce texture in kind of a looped format. Fringe, of course, is another way to create texture. Now, it can be created on the edges very easily. Does not have to remain within the square. Fringe could be trimmed to perhaps make a shape. You can also create fringe on the inner space. Cut only one side. Okay, now we've created a fringy area in a positive space. These are basic techniques for deconstructing the weave. Now that you have the general idea, continue to explore some ways to enhance the design. For instance, if you save some of those strands that you've pulled out, you can apply a little glue and reattach them or partially weave some of them back in and create some textural areas like this right here. You can also create add-ons such as this tasseled bead, loop bead here, and stitch that back in place or glue it. Areas can be bound with some hemp cord. This could add a little bit of color as well. You can also add beads if you prefer. Oftentimes we see beads mixed in with fiber art. The tapestry may be designed with a means for hanging, or you may prefer for it to be mounted onto a piece of mat board. Scan this code for a materials list and more information about reductive weaving. Visit dickblick.com.